What's up, guys? It's Xander back with another YouTube video. Yeah. And today's YouTube video is actually a comparison of helmets. Let me grab them real quick. First, we have the Bell Moto 10. One of the top of the line helmets. The other helmet would be the 6D atr3. Both these helmets are some of the top of the line helmets, and I've used both brands. I've used 6D before, the atr2 and 3, and I've used Bell before. I have the symmetrical 10 and the MIPS 10. Which I'll compare that with these later in the video. The main difference is with the two helmets. One of them is obviously the pads in the Bell 10 come out way easier than the 6D. It's just a small difference, but another thing I noticed, the pads on the atr3 are much wider than the Bell. I don't know why. It could be worn, but when I first got the Bell, not super big pads, which comfortability wise, they're both comfortable. I like both. But I've had a few pretty big crashes in the Bell Moto 10. I've broken about 6 bones in this helmet alone. And both times I broke bones, one time was last year, October 3rd, 2024. I broke my tibia, my ankle, foot, and hand at Apple Cabin in Ohio. And I had a pretty bad concussion in this helmet. I was knocked out. I didn't know where I was. Another time was this year at SVRMX. In this helmet, I broke my knee and hit my head pretty hard. And got a minor concussion in that one. But in the in the 6D, I haven't ridden with this helmet yet other than on my pit bike. But I've had the atr2, and I never got a concussion on the atr2, and I've broken 3 bones on that helmet alone. And another huge difference I have with the two different helmets is the weight. This helmet is probably about a pound and a half heavier than the atr3. I don't know exactly what shell this helmet is. What I do know is this shell is carbon fiber. Another big difference is the visors on the 6Ds. At least with my personal experience, break off way easier than the Bells. I don't know why. It could be the material, could just didn't have the same type of crash, who knows. But I've had the Bell, for about 4 years now, and it was definitely time for an upgrade. Either way, it was time for an upgrade no matter what, if it was a good helmet or not. I think it was an amazing helmet that saved me from lots of head injuries. Worse head injuries. Now, I had an atr2 for about 2 years, I want to say. And in those 2 years, I cracked it, the shell. And we went to get it serviced at 6D, and they took the helmet. I don't know why. Maybe because they couldn't service it. But they gave us a discount. But I already had a discount for FXR, so it didn't matter. But I also had a discount for this helmet through Fast House. But both are amazing helmets. And I love both of them. But another difference with them are on the 6D, these bolts, not a huge difference, but these that hold the visor in are plastic on the 6D versus metal on the, what's it called, Bell. Could be smart, though, because of weight reduction. Not a lot, but it could add up. Another thing is the ventilation on the 6D. There's a lot more ventilation. Oh, I had 10%. But the ventilation is a lot more ventilation through the 6D versus the Fast House. The Fast House has zero ventilation except for these two little pockets up in front right there. And this right here. And it's just not a lot of ventilation. Your head gets hot quick. On the 6D, has not as much ventilation on the front of the the crossbar, whatever you call it, but it has it on the sides, on the front, right here, and it has all this on the front. And I've worn it a few times, and it's cool so much quicker than the Bell. Could just be personal experience. I don't know. But main differences is the 6D is way lighter than the Bell 10. And also, the outer shells you could tell is different because even just scratching the material, it feels different. But both are really nice helmets. But that's all I got to say, other than you guys should check out my site, my Emoto site. And I print these. I print covers for Talaria Stings. This is an unfinished one. This is a finished Talaria Sting cover. These two are Suron covers that I made and I 3D printed. And this is a XXX Talaria one. I sand them, prime them, and smooth them. The link will be under the description, or in the description down below. You guys should check it out. Maybe purchase something, maybe don't. I also have imitation carbon, Baja lights, brake pads for the Talarias and Surons. That's about it. That's on there. Still building the site a little. But soon I will be laser engraving mugs, cutting boards, making custom stuff. So you can just follow my TikTok, XanderB622, and DM me on there, or on my Instagram, Zanman-Racing-622, or Zanman-Racing622. It's one of those two. And thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.